All right, 5th grade, this is lesson 5. In lesson 5, we're going to be talking about how to write decimals using words, expanded form, and of course numbers. So the first thing that I want to talk about is for the word portion. Don't forget that when you see a decimal point, it means the word and. You only use and when you're talking about a decimal. Okay. Another thing that you will need, and it is in your book, is this place value chart. You need to know where the place values are in your decimal to be in order to be able to write these. So please make sure that you have this in front of you or you know your place values. Okay. So the first example is given to you in words. You have 4 thousandths, okay, with that TH in there. The thousandths place is 3 places after the decimal point. So as you can see, it is 0.004. The 4 is in the thousandths place. Now we go to B, 24 thousandths. Now, what that means is that the last number listed in here, so that 4, has to be in that thousandths place. That 4 has to be in that thousandths place. So I'm going to take this 4 and put it in the thousandths place. But if I fill the rest of these with zeros, it's 4 thousandths. What makes it 24 thousandths? Putting the 2 right next to the 4, making it look like 24. Now I fill the rest with zeros. So there's no tenths in there, and there's no ones. So my answer is 0.024. So that is a tricky thing that some people tend not to remember. So I hope this jogs your memory that the last number listed goes in the place value mentioned. Okay, let's do another or a couple more of these. So we have 1 and 324 thousandths. Oh, that's a big one. Now I see the magic word that I mentioned before, and. That means that is where my decimal point goes. Okay? Well, if I know and is right here and there's a 1 in front of it, the 1 must go right before the decimal point. So 1 and then it says 324 thousandths. Again, remember the last digit needs to be in that thousandths place. So it is a 4, so I'm going to put the 4 all the way over here. And then I'm going to work backwards. Oh, I see a 20. Okay, so the 2 goes there. And then 300. Oh, so I want to make it look like 324. 324. As long as that 4 is in that thousandths place, you are good. So 1 and 324 thousandths looks like this. 1.324. Okay. Now you might see fractions or mixed numbers that look like this. So all this is saying is that your whole number in the mixed fraction, the mixed number, that is your whole number. That's going to go before your decimal point. And look at that denominator right there. That is 1,000. So I know that this number needs to end in the thousandths place. Okay? It's just going to be like up here where I have the word thousandths. That's like having the word thousandths in there. So if I go to my chart, I know that the 3 is going to go here, and I'm going to have 946 end in the thousandths place. So, okay, the last number needs to be in the thousandths place. That's the 6, and then the 4, and then the 9. So your answer is 3.946. Okay? So this chart is going to be your best friend during this homework. So please have it with you. Now, for number 2, very similar to this, except they're giving you this side of the chart and asking you to do it in words. So I have to ask myself, what place value is that 5 in? That 5 is in the 3 places after the decimal. So 1, 2, oh, it's in my thousandths place. So I'm going to name this 5 thousandths. Okay. Let's do a bigger number here. I have 11.037. Okay, so I need to look at that decimal, and again, my last decimal, what place value is that 7 in? Okay, it's 3 places after the decimal, so I know that's in my thousandths place. All right, so I'm going to read that with a thousandth on the end. So this number plus a thousandth at the end. So here, that number is 11. I see a decimal point, so I'm going to write the word and. That number, which is 37. And then what place value is that 7 in? It's in the thousandths place. So I write the word thousandths. And that is how I write that number in words. Now here I think is the most confusing part, and so hopefully this will help you. This is writing your numbers in expanded form. Now it's a little different than writing them in expanded form if you're using whole numbers, because you remember how I'll use my piece of paper here. If I were to write the number 347 in expanded form, I would write 300 plus 40 plus 7. Well, this is a little bit different. What they're doing here is they're taking each place value and multiplying by the number that you see. So this 3, yes, is in the tenths place. So I'm going to take the 3 and multiply it by tens because it's in the tens place. Then I'm going to add 5 times the place value that it's in, which is in the ones place. Then I'm going to add that by the number I see times the place value. So it's going to be a little bit longer than before. All right, and I'll do an example with you. So if it helps to put this in a chart, you are more than welcome to do that. And I'm going to do it for you. Okay, so I'm going to pretend that this is my decimal point. Okay, I have no whole numbers, so I'm just going to start over here. This is my tenths place. And inside my tenths place, I have a 2. Then I have hundredths. Sorry for my misspelling. And inside the hundredths, I have a 4. And then a thousandths. I have a 9. So I'm going to write this as 2 times 1/10. I can either write that as a decimal or a fraction. It's up to you. I'm going to write it as a decimal since that's what we're working with. That is how we write a tenth. And then we go plus 4 times my hundredth, or 0.01, and then plus 9 times a thousandth, which is 0.001. If you use fractions, you are also correct. I'll show you what it looks like as fractions so you know if you're doing it right. That's what a tenth looks like. That's what a hundredth looks like. That's what a thousandth looks like. All right. Now, these are all written out in expanded form, and you have to figure out the number. So I'm going to do A with you. I have 7 times 10. Okay, well I know that's 70. So I'm going to have a tens place right here. Plus 4 times 1. Okay, that's in the ones place, and that's a 4. So far I have 74. Now I'm getting into decimals and fractions here, so I know I'm going to have a decimal point right there, because once I get into the fractions, it's after the decimal point. 6 times 1/10, so I know that 6 is going to go in the tenths place. 9 times 100th, well that 9 is going to go in the hundredths place. And 2 times 1,000th, that 2 is going to go in the thousandths place. Alright, I really hope this helps you on your homework, and good luck.